Sometimes in this life, I just wonder why certain people are created um, with very in-depth hate for their fellow human beings. And I ask myself, how can a human being exist with deep hatred for a different race or for a different tribe? And I'm beginning to fathom this in my mind, and I think although the medical science has not described this as a sort of mental illness, I think when I reflect on this deeply, I believe that hate, racism, should be classified as mental illness. Otherwise, how would somebody who owns a business, a private enterprise, who decided on the dress code of his staff, will become a very serious issue in a country like Nigeria? And to be specific, if you go to the Northern Forum, you will not even hear a word about this being, trending in the Northern Forum. But obviously, there's always a place where these things come from. Now, think about this way. I always want to see things from a different perspective. We from the southeast of Nigeria, anytime we travel, we either have to land in Lagos or Abuja. Has anybody thought about the economic implications of our landing in any of these two sites? One, we fly with 23 kg times 2 plus 8 kg hand luggage. When we come into Lagos, we then have to go to the local airport. And the local airport will tell us that we are only allowed 20 kg. Do the mathematics for yourself and see how much extra we pay to be in Lagos. Most of the time when we land, we have to stay in a hotel in Lagos. We spend money. Some of us will have to book 2-3 rooms at minimum 35,000 to 45,000 a night. If you do the mathematics times 3 rooms, you will find out how much 45,000 times 3 is, plus the extra money we pay for hand luggage. And then on top of that, we still have to fly domestic flight. If we come back with our 4 children minimum, so wife, husband, 4 children, 6, then we pay 158,000 naira to fly from Lagos to Port Harcourt or to Enugu. Do the mathematics. All this goes into the economy of Lagos or Abuja. How much then comes into the economy of the Southeast from the money we have suffered and made? That is not the end of it. When we fly into Port Harcourt, we then have the challenge of going from Port Harcourt to Owerri or to Aba or to Onitsha. We are faced with over 56, I counted it, from Port Harcourt to to Owerri, I counted 56 checkpoints. And at each of these checkpoints, we have to conceal our luggages, remove the tag, do something. Most of them, we pay an average of 500 naira to 1,000 naira bribe to be able to go across this place for doing nothing, for just being a citizen of Nigeria. Some places, when you get there, there are like 7 checkpoints. You have the police, you have the army, you have the red beret people. I don't know what sort of special police that is. You have the VEO, you have the vehicle license people, you have the road safety corps. You even have one group that was between River State and Imo State, Owerri. They are dressed like kidnappers. They have their shrine in the middle of the road, and they have knives on them, and then they stop you and demand money. I don't know what to call that one. When I inquired, they are one sort of vigilante group within the River State axis. This is the challenge we face. If you then commit a capital crime of going from Lagos to the east by road, you are guaranteed to spend an average 8 to 10 hours, be harassed by the thousands of police checkpoints before you get to Onitsha or Enugu. So when people talk about airpeace, just wearing Isiago, do they understand that even the airpeace himself, who happens to be an Igbo man, runs his business from Lagos, probably again from Abuja? He doesn't run his business from the east. So we from the east have to we go through pain and suffering just to land in Lagos or Abuja. Do the mathematics of what I've told you. You will see that an average Igbo man that flies from London, before he gets to the southeast into his house, he would have spent close to £600 just to fly into Nigeria and get into his house. So when these haters and these bigots talk on people like Reno and all the rest of them, talk rubbish about Isiago, let us be very careful, because the pain that we go through in the southeast, none of you go through it. You do not understand our pain. So somebody's running his private business, but you now want to tell him how the dress code for his staff. Sometimes I don't think you guys really understand what it means to be Igbo in that country called Nigeria. You do not. And it is very painful that some educated, so-called educated people are in this saga. I've read numerous nonsensical comments on Twitter and all the rest, led by this recalcitrant called Reno. But having said that, all I would appeal to airpeace is to remember that Enugu has an airport. We would equally want to fly, land in Enugu, or any of the airports in the southeast and go into our houses without having to pay all the amount of money I mentioned. My friend stayed in a service apartment somewhere in Lagos, and he paid 150,000 a night. Just landing in Lagos, 150,000 for service apartment. Then the next morning he has to pay all his local flights to get down to the east. Sometimes you people don't understand the pain of being Igbo. And besides, Isiago is not even a traditional attire that a woman in Igbo land should wear. Isiago is meant for the men. The women go with their two-piece wrapper or any other type of wear. What if he decides to give them two-piece wrapper? What will happen? What will happen? If you guys are so angry, why don't you set up your own airport and even your own plane or airline and dress any way you want, as long as the price is cheap, as long as the price is okay? The Igbo man will patronize you. The Igbo people we don't hate you. We don't hate anybody. We patronize every business as long as the satisfaction, the customer service is there. What is this hate all about? Somebody would ask, what is this hate all about? You guys should just wear the thinking cap of maturity. If we want to be a nation, let us be a nation. If you guys hate us so much, why are you even struggling to keep us in Nigeria? Why? Why don't you then let the Southeast go? And let us compare records in the next 10, 20 years. Who will be more developed and who will be more advanced? What is all this hate all about? You don't like a people, but you want to be in the same country with them. You seize their property. Look at the nonsense comment made by Nwike, talking about how he dealt with the Igbos. And all of you kept quiet. You enjoy this hatred and wickedness and evil against the people who have done nothing to you, apart from being Nigerians. Some of you need to take a deep thought, a deep reflection, and think about what your actions. It's not a must to belong to the same place. If you hate them so much, let them go then. Let them go. They've invested everything they have in your place. They've come there, they've done business, they've helped you develop your economy. What have you done in the East? But even at that, you still hate them. You still dislike them. Sometimes I think this hatred, this tribalism, nepotism should be classified as mental health. A lot of people out there have mental health problems. And they need to be cured. Not in Yaba left, but from birth. Because the hate is from the stomach. It's from conception. It's from family upbringing. They imbibe it in their system. It's so sad to read all these comments, and I wonder, how will somebody be happy being a Nigerian? To read all this sort of hatred from some of you guys. Is it not time you stop this? Look at every part of the world they are developing. Look at Rwanda. Look at even Niger Republic right behind us here. The young man is doing fantastically, creating a nation for people. He's not minding the tribe in his country. He's building Niger Republic now that we used to laugh at. And you guys are here hating on one another. It's so sad. Some people need mental surgery in Nigeria, honestly.